Hi everyone, I'm Naha and this is the 22 Teachings channel. Welcome back if you've been patiently waiting for me to come back with another video, and welcome if it's your first time coming across this channel where we take a look at tarot decks, classics and new decks and old rare decks, and we explore those things together. I share with you some of my thoughts and ideas and some of the wisdom about these amazing 78 archetypes. Today, I'm really excited to be bringing a brand new deck. It's just come out, I've just received it, and this is the Somnia Tarot by Nicholas Bruno. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think that I actually ordered this deck back in March. Now it's October, so I've been waiting for 7 months, and the reason why I didn't get it sooner, and that's sometimes what happens, is that the deck, when you order it, you're actually doing a pre-order. And I was trying to remember exactly how I found out about this deck originally. I saw that maybe it had been funded on Kickstarter, but I don't think I got it through there. But it's a really, really beautiful photographic deck. And so let's get into it. Let's see what we've got here. And I think that I also got a few of the additional extras, some of the add-ons that you could get with this deck as well. All right, so here is the deck coming in this little bag. It's got a card here. Thank you for bringing my project to life, signed by the artist. That's very cool. Here's an example of the imagery. And there's other photographic decks, of course. And I just remember the moment I saw these, I thought, this is something really special. This is something different. We'll open up some of this other stuff in a moment. But I want to get right into this, and one of the things that you could also get was as some additional cards, 7 collectible art cards. So that came with it. We'll see what I got there in a moment. Again, this is the box, and I want to read to you a little bit from the artist's website. So Nicholas Bruno from Northport, New York. And he studied at Purchase College of New York, where he received his BFA in photography in 2015. His studio practice is based there, where he photographs and fabricates props for his composition. I thought that this was kind of interesting. Not only is he taking the pictures, but he's also creating these amazing scenes. Bruno weaves together his terrifying experiences of sleep paralysis with surreal portraiture in a therapeutic translation of night terrors to image. Have you guys ever experienced sleep paralysis? So this is when you wake up, or you're laying in bed and you think that you wake up, but you can't move. And it's almost this space between dreaming and being awake, where you're still experiencing what seems like dreamlike imagery. And it's usually very terrifying. It's this sense that you're paralyzed in your bed. And it's almost the opposite of lucid dreaming, where you wake up in your dream and you can kind of control your experience there. This is when you wake up in your dream and you have no control and you're not really sure if you're awake or asleep. And it's something that, while some people might experience that once or twice in their life, some people are extremely plagued by it. It goes on to say in the bio, his constructed worlds of uncertainty exist on a plane between waking and sleeping, where he is tormented by a physical embrace of the subconscious and its perils, all while being paralyzed in bed. Sounds quite frightening. Influences of 19th century romanticists, historical texts of occultism, and dream symbolism lace each composition with various visual dialogues of the macabre. Now, before you go, oh God, I'm scared. Hey, maybe it's nice that we're doing this during October, right? I find that this is actually extremely powerful to go, this is something that's troubled me, something that I've struggled with. And instead of just living with it or not doing anything or feeling disempowered, I am actually going to use this as inspiration in my art. And I think that's very often exactly what art can be, is this opportunity to heal some of this stuff that we're dealing with, or explore these ideas, to lean into it and to go through it, to face the fear. This card is the Fool. We're just going to jump right in and take a look at some of the minor arcana here. And it's pretty incredible because, you know, this doesn't look like a photograph. It really looks like a painting, doesn't it? We see this person coming out through this window, and yet they're still tied to the bed. Here is the image of the magician. And I can imagine that those ropes are that symbolism of the restriction and the bondage that one feels. Look at this, the high priestess with these plumes of smoke rising just like the two pillars there. This was one of the images that I saw. You can see holding the Book of Wisdom, holding the pomegranate. And I believe that many of these, actually, I could be mistaken, but I think that he's the person in the photographs. Here's the Empress. Well, now we see like a woman with long hair, so maybe not sitting and sewing there. Very, very beautiful and haunting imagery. The Emperor, God, with the anvil right over the top. Now this makes me think of iron. Iron is the metal which is ruled by the planet Mars. Mars in turn rules the sign of Aries, which is the sign which corresponds to the Emperor. And I do believe that this artist has, you know, the occult knowledge of these things. It's also said that while these are unique images, that they also do show references to the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Wow, look at this. So we see in the Lovers, yeah, the burning tree here as the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. This is the Chariot. This is very alchemical symbolism, isn't it? With the white, the black, and the red. This is the Strength. Now look, the lion is turned into this giant bear trap, this animal trap there. That's the Hermit. The use of the elements is very interesting. All of this use of water, of course, water very much is the element of sleep. It's the element of meditation and dreams and the night, right? So this juxtaposition between fire and water is very interesting, and even the sky and the clouds and smoke. So we see all of those elements. And then so much of the time, the way that they're wrapped and draped, it's almost as though, you know, the veil is just all around them. That's the Hanged Man, a pretty classic depiction. Oh, I love this one, the Death card. This is an allusion to the Death card on the Rider-Waite-Smith with the white horse and the flag, which bears the Tudor rose and the symbols of the 5 elements that represents. And again, we can see the entire thing here being veiled, almost like these are bed sheets that are just draping over everything. There's Temperance, pouring the tea. This is the Devil card, rather. The Tower. The Star. And for the first time in the series, we begin to see some light here on the horizon. The Moon. These are so beautiful. Every single one of these is just an exquisite work of art in its own right. Here's Judgment. And the use of the ladder, clearly a very strong motif here. And the World. Interesting in that in this World card, we see the figure, and I don't know, maybe this is him with the long hair. We see this figure now with their head is no longer covered, and they hold the book, maybe reading a bedtime story there. Well, let's take a look at the book that this comes with. My first exposure to tarot came from childhood in the basement of my grandmother's home. I discovered the tarot deck that belonged to my great-grandmother, Yaya. Let's go ahead and jump into the cups, since that Water's so thematic. In secret, I would climb up on a high shelf and retrieve the deck, which was hidden among her other antiques and trinkets. Because I was forbidden to touch the cards out of superstition, yes, you don't let other people handle your tarot deck, right? It made them even more alluring to my childhood curiosity. Growing up in a Greek Orthodox family, superstitions and traditions were commonplace throughout all aspects of my life. I'd like to say that in the course that I teach, Magic Fundamentals, we talk about the difference between tradition and superstition and how sometimes our traditions need to evolve. And when they need to evolve is oftentimes when they have denigrated into superstition. So superstition can come up as something that was rooted in tradition, but sometimes you forget why the tradition was important in the first place. And it becomes just this example of, oh, well, you just don't do that. Why? Oh, because it's bad luck, or it will create misfortune, rather than, well, there really was originally a reason for that, a much more realistic, down-to-earth, sensible reason. Oh, look at this guy, the Page of Cups. Very cool, right? Here's some of the court cards. There's the knight we see on the horse. Beautiful. There's the king and the Queen of Cups. We'll look at some of the swords here. Each time I visited Yaya's cards, I became increasingly more captivated by the imagery within them. This peculiar memory followed me into adulthood, where I would soon rediscover tarot in a new way. Through this series, the tale of the classic tarot is told through the mediums of photography, sculpture, costume design, and dream journal recordings. Various characters and symbolism from sleep paralysis experiences are woven together to express the diverse themes of the tarot. Six of Swords, about to go on a journey there. The conception of the Somnia Tarot began during the early stages of the COVID-19 pandemic and was completed in late November 2020. Each photograph was created within the marshlands and shorelines of Long Island, New York. The characters within the series are portrayed by self-portraiture, my family members, and close friends. Okay, so some of these are him. And then there's a Knight of Swords. Wow, just fantastic. So some keywords are given for each of the majors, as you can see here. Temperance, for instance, 6 keywords are given for each card: harmony, balance, duality, adaptation, contentment, purpose. And same with the minor arcana. We'll look at the wands. In this suit, we should probably see the representations of fire. There's the candle, fire being the element of the wands. And they become almost, they may be candles or they may be like torches, right? 4 keywords are given for each of the minors. So 6 of Wands, we see here the candelabra, and the keywords given are victory, overcoming hardship, and desire. Oh, this is a cool one. So there's the 7 of Wands, gossip, adversity, defense, and self-empowerment. It really just becomes quite a prolific thing. How interesting to think that this is one of the things that was created during the time of this pandemic, this lockdown, and that pushed this artist to create this deck. What an incredible undertaking. This is the Queen of Wands. So let's go ahead and look at some of the pentacles here. I guess we're starting with the 5. And even the entirety of the color palette, just really beautiful. Now these pentacles, rather than having the traditional pentagram on them, they have the Mason's compass there. There's the 8, kind of a classic look similar to the idea that we see in the Rider-Waite-Smith. And we see that same compass here on the back, but we see it here. We see the letter B. That would be the monogram of the last name of the artist, Bruno. And it's larger than your standard size tarot. But, you know, when we have these photographic decks, sometimes it's nicer to have the larger format. They're just really, really high quality. Let's go ahead and see what else was in here. So this is a cloth and comes with that sticker, the same gold seal that we see on the back there. And I really wanted to share this with you guys, just with this sense of wherever you're at in your life, feeling like you might have something that you're not approaching due to fear. This is cool. Look at this tarot cloth that it came with. Isn't that beautiful? See the suits there in the corners. I guess that's the top. And these concentric rings. So that can be used to lay the cards out on and also to wrap them up in. And I have to say, you know, even being in a position where I haven't done a video in a long time, and I will admit, you know, part of that is out of fear. And part of that fear comes from a sense of wanting it to be perfect, wanting people to like it, wanting it to be inspired, wanting to do justice to the artist and to the deck. And sometimes you just have to face that, and nothing's going to happen. Videos are not just going to create themselves. And so it just felt like perfect timing to be able to share this with you. So I hope that you can consider something that you might be postponing, and not due to laziness, just due to a fact of whatever it might be that's halting you. And I pose that question to you. What are you fearing that's preventing you from manifesting something that you want to make? And I encourage you to take that step. Now, finally, let's go ahead and open up this little expansion pack, 7 collectible art cards. I believe that these will still be cards that already existed in the deck, maybe special versions of those. So we'll take a look. Okay, we see the Death card again, the Temperance card again. I'm not sure that there's anything that's different from the originals. Yeah, I'm not seeing any difference here between these extra cards and the original cards, but that is having those can be used in other ways, and they can be gifted or used in some kind of form of art or journaling, or I like to use extra cards as bookmarks, always as I'm reading a million books. This deck is available, and I'll make sure that the link is down below so that you can check out Nicholas Bruno, his website, and also where you can get the deck, and then also his photography. But just a really, really beautiful, beautiful, haunting deck. I feel like I said it's appropriate for this time of year as we move forward deeper into the fall and into Halloween and some of these themes. There's the Devil card again with all of those ropes. I really like that one. And let's look at that Death card, because this is the card that corresponds to Scorpio, which is the sign that we are in right now. So thank you for taking a look with me at the Somnia Tarot by Nicholas Bruno. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm really, really glad to be back on our YouTube channel. Right now, I'm in the midst of teaching the tarot, and I'm doing that online. If you're interested in checking out everything that I'm doing and teaching online, you can go to 22teachings.com. We have ongoing classes, we have recorded classes, and we have all kinds of courses in the mysteries. So I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Have a great rest of your day.